One of the most polarizing prospects in this entire 2024 Dynasty Rookie Draft class, Adonai Mitchell, out of the University of Texas. Spent 2 years at Georgia before his big breakout year at the University of Texas in 2023. Now, Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell, they're both getting buzz right about now. They both ran really fast at the 40 time at the combine. These guys are looking like they're improving their draft stock as the day goes on. But a lot of people believe Adonai Mitchell is the better player between him and Xavier Worthy. And a lot of people also think, is Adonai Mitchell undervalued in Dynasty Fantasy Football rookie drafts right now? We're going to get into that right now. And this is a new channel exclusively for Dynasty. So please go down there, drop a like on this video, and subscribe to the channel to show your support if you get value from this video today. Let's go ahead and discuss, I think, one of the best ways to find out if a player is undervalued, properly valued, or overvalued is to check their draft price first and foremost. So obviously, I understand this is in March. We're filming this video in mid-March, basically. So it's still pretty early to tell whether or not this is a properly priced player in Dynasty Rookie Drafts. He hasn't even been drafted yet, so we don't even exactly have enough information to go off of yet. But I want to look at his draft price either way. So right now, sitting today, he is currently the 12th player off the board in one quarterback leagues. So that's basically back of the first round, early second round, depending on if you're a 10-team, 8-team, 12-team, 14-team league, right? This is going to be back first round, early second round right here. But let's get more specific. Let's look at the players who are going around him, before him and after him. So we're going to go with guys like Troy Franklin over Adonai Mitchell, Drake May, Brian Thomas, Ladd McConkey, Devontae Walker, Keon Coleman, Adonai Mitchell. Then there's guys like Xavier Legette behind him, Jermaine Burton behind him, Xavier Worthy behind him, Jalen Polk behind him, Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, all going behind Adonai Mitchell right here. So like I said, we're obviously sitting here in mid-March. It's still very early to tell whether or not this is a proper price for Adonai Mitchell. Is his current price correct? What is he as a prospect? That's going to be the thing that we need to figure out next to decide whether or not Adonai Mitchell is properly priced right now. Who is he as a prospect? Is this guy a complete wide receiver who's running every route in the route tree, or does he just excel at one particular thing? Well, let's take a look at who he is as a prospect right now. So we're going to go through my wide receiver, Dynasty Rookie wide receiver prospect model, which has helped me find guys in the past like Jaden Reed, like Tank Dell, like Josh Downs, excel at the NFL level, and in fantasy football specifically, I have found the 4 most transmittable traits that a college player must have and bring to the NFL for fantasy football success. So we're going to plug him into that prospect model right now and see how he grades out. So one of the biggest things for me, first and foremost, is I want to see how soon these guys are performing at a high level at the college level. I want to see what the college breakout year was. This is going to show me how early or late a player was able to be not just a contributor, a very solid piece and an important key player to their particular offense right here. The sooner their breakout is, the better it's going to be, because that shows me they don't need a ton of development to come into the NFL level and play very, very well. If everything hits well, I mean, that's the biggest thing. They need to be able to hit. Well, Adonai Mitchell didn't really do this. He was a junior year breakout. That's a C+ grade for me. I'm looking for true freshman breakouts, true sophomore breakouts. I'm looking for redshirt freshman breakouts. Adonai Mitchell being a junior year breakout is just really not that great. And I want to highlight this right here. You can see his stats every year in college on the screen right now. So technically his freshman year at Georgia, if you're looking at different sites, at different YouTubers on fantasy, people will say that he was a freshman breakout because he crossed 400 yards. That's not the way I roll. I don't think you're a true competitor and a true key player on your team as a wide receiver until you're getting 500 plus yards in a college season. So Adonai Mitchell didn't hit that benchmark for me. And then, strangely enough, his 2022 season was actually worse off by several hundred yards. Now, there's reasons for that, obviously, but then he transfers over to UT in his junior season, and that's when he finally breaks out. Quinn Ewers has him and Xavier Worthy to throw to, and Jonathan Brooks out of the backfield for a little bit there. So Adonai Mitchell finally breaks out his junior year. Is this real, or is this just an offensive situation that ended up being really good for the player? It's worth questioning here. I don't like a junior year breakout, though. That really does bother me. Now, the biggest thing, this is without question the biggest deal to me. I want to see what these guys look like on film. What was the film breakdown grade? What I am looking for in particular with college players on their film breakdown at the wide receiver position specifically is how diverse of a route tree are they running at the college level? Are they going over the middle of the field? Are they separating based on pure footwork? Because that is going to determine how often they go over the middle of the field and how diverse their route tree is. Or are they just big deep ball players who really don't have much impact at the short level or at the intermediate level? That's going to translate to fantasy football success. So I'm looking for guys who are going to separate based on footwork, based on hand coordination, based on their own speed. Adonai Mitchell does one thing very well, and that's why he got a B- grade for me. Adonai Mitchell is not a separator. He's not going over the middle of the field and creating separation based on his footwork. He is not a route running extraordinaire who's going to run 10-yard comebacks, 12-yard slant routes. He's not doing that stuff because he's not a pure separator. This guy takes shorter throws and he runs a long way because he's fast and he can outrun the defense. He can also burn you deep, and that's particularly what he does well. Now, also, really what I did actually like about Adonai Mitchell is the fact that he was very efficient in the red zone. Adonai Mitchell had 11 touchdowns for Texas this year, and a lot of those were straight up just like red zone jump balls. Like they would try to isolate him at the red zone and isolate him with a corner, and they would either fade it to him or they would kind of run like a little in and out route. Adonai Mitchell was effective in the red zone, and that is a positive thing. So Adonai Mitchell, B- here, because he's not a separator. He's not running a diverse route tree. This guy is mainly going deep, hitting on big plays, and getting open in the red zone. And that stuff matters, but that doesn't always translate to the next level. This film breakdown process here, this is exactly what has helped me find guys like Jaden Reed. Major draft day steal in Dynasty rookie drafts. Tank Dell, major draft day steal in Dynasty rookie drafts. And if you want to break down the film of some of the rookies in this year's class and find those next great wide receivers, join the Patreon today where I am breaking down the film on as many wide receiver prospects as possible. Now, the next biggest thing here is I want to know what their target share was like in college. So the target share number, this is already going to do a good job at, before I even watch the film, the college target share is going to help me identify what their route tree is and how diverse of a route tree they're running. The lower the target share is, you're not going to see many guys getting 20% target shares, 25% target shares. You're going to see guys around the 15 to 12 range if they don't have much of a route tree. With Adonai Mitchell, 12.9% college target share, that's a D grade. That is not good. That's straight up not good. Now, the flip side of this argument with the target share is, well, if you have good teammates, the ball is going to get spread around. Listen, I can understand that to a certain point. But a 12.9% target share, that shows me that you don't have much diversity in what you run. You're good for big plays, and you're effective with it. Guys like Adonai Mitchell. This is the problem with guys like Adonai Mitchell. Jameson Williams, when he was at Alabama, they all had lower target shares in their final season of college. That's not a good thing. That does not translate well to the NFL level. If you're not a separator and you can't be a target hog, you can't expect a guy to get 7 to 8 targets per game when he's not even cracking 15% of his team's target share. Now, the last thing that's very important as well is going to determine how short or long of a leash you have at the NFL level. I'm looking for the NFL draft capital on these guys. Now, of course, this is obvious, but a first rounder is going to have a much longer leash than a 6th rounder, a 5th rounder, right? Because the team has more money attached to a first-round pick versus what they do with a 5th or 6th rounder. They could cut that guy before he even makes the roster in August. So the first-round draft capital is going to be more important. And there's a chance that Adonai Mitchell goes in the first round. Maybe he goes early day 2. I'm hearing that's kind of where the buzz is at with Adonai Mitchell as of the time of this filming right now. So no guarantee to be a first-rounder, but certainly looks like he will have some major draft capital attached to him within the first 2 days of the NFL draft. So here's the deal. I'm not an Adonai Mitchell guy. And I'm not afraid to say it because I'm very confident in the reasons why. Adonai Mitchell really reminds me a lot of Jameson Williams. Now, Jameson Williams was a guy that I liked a lot coming out of Alabama, full disclosure. But their careers in college were very similar. They were both burners. That's their player profile. They're both burners who can outrun basically an entire defense. They both have good size as well. So they prototypically look like a number 1 X receiver because of their size and their speed. But they're very limited in what they can do. Jameson Williams, a lot of his last season with Alabama was going deep because of his speed. He was also efficient in the red zone because they isolated him in those situations. Adonai Mitchell looks very similar. And like I said, I liked Jameson Williams a lot. He burned me. He burned me bad. Those guys like that, at their best, are way more valuable to NFL teams than it is to us as dynasty managers. So if it's me personally, when we're sitting here in our 2024 Dynasty Rookie Drafts, when that day comes, I would personally take guys like Xavier Legette, Trey Benson, and his University of Texas teammate, Xavier Worthy, before I would take Adonai Mitchell. This is going to be a fun one to discuss right here. Let me know what you think of Adonai Mitchell in the comments below, and let me know if you think I'm just an idiot for this take, or if you actually agree with me on this one. And make sure to stay tuned for the release of my 2024 Dynasty Rookie Draft Guide, which is going to help you find the best steals in this draft and the best players to take in your Dynasty Rookie Draft.